When Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent took the podium at the American Bankers Association on Wednesday morning, he was anything but yuppie. The president's term to describe the hand-wringing of Republicans and financiers who were sounding the alarm on his tariffs. Early on, Trump branded them as panicans, a new party based on weak and stupid people. But Bessent struck a unique messaging balance that both reassured stock traders and his boss. Bessent reassured the room of bankers that, thanks to the president's tariff threats, 75 countries were willing to negotiate with him, and that 15 of those nations had already proposed a deal. The president already had good calls with the Japanese prime minister and the leaders of South Korea and Vietnam, Bessent revealed, and he was working quickly to settle monumental trade deals. "I'm not planning on going anywhere for Easter," he grinned, revealing that he would have a lead negotiating role in the effort. Bessent's tone was relaxed, but made it very clear that he was backing the president's agenda. He spoke to a wide range of audiences to get the message across: Fox Business, CNBC, but also an interview with podcaster Tucker Carlson expressing many of the same populist talking points that the president espoused during the campaign. "Wall Street's done great. It can continue doing well, but it's Main Street's turn," he said. To the world, he urged countries to come to the table with a deal, noting that America was listening. "If you don't retaliate, that is a ceiling," he said, urging them not to start cutting their own throat by aligning economically with China. Other Trump advisors found themselves in a much more volatile position as they tried to influence the debate. Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, angered Wall Street investors by throwing elbows in his interviews, channeling some of his bravado typically rewarded by the president. He traveled with the president to Mar-a-Lago on Air Force One on Thursday. Elon Musk found himself sidelined by the president, left to fume on his account on X, taking out most of his rage against trade advisor Peter Navarro, the president's tariff hawk who was throwing potshots at Tesla's manufacturing practices. Navarro lashed back by attacking Musk's Tesla car company, which drew more fire from the president's billionaire advisor. Musk berated Navarro as a moron and dumber than a sack of bricks. It was entertaining fodder, but the White House shrugged it off as two advisors having their differences in public. "Boys will be boys," White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said during the White House press briefing. But Bessent was not one of the boys. As he watched the stock market drop precipitously on Thursday and Friday, Bessent flew to Mar-a-Lago himself on Sunday to advise the president on the next steps. They came up with a strategy: isolate China and give everyone else willing to deal some relief. There would be no immediate backing down, the president said, but would allow Bessent to reassure the markets that the deals were coming. It was Bessent who flew back to Mar-a-Lago Sunday evening with the president, as he was spotted in the background as Trump spoke to the press on Air Force One. Bessent continued to focus his attention on China. To illustrate China's addiction to cheap manufacturing, Bessent reached back to the Disney film Fantasia, where Mickey Mouse plays the sorcerer's apprentice, struggling vainly to stop a courier.